Hey ladies, it's Pam from Women Strong Fitness, and today I'm sharing some exercises that will help with that diastasis recti. So, if you've had a baby or two like myself, you may have diastasis recti, or I'll just call it DR for short now because that takes too long. But anyway, what it is it is a separation of your rectus abdominis muscles, or your six-pack muscles. And here's a really great visual of that. And because of the extra stretch you get when carrying a baby in there, your abdominal muscles are stretching, and it basically creates a gap or a valley down the middle of your abdomen. So that's really great to think about, right? Anyway, so all of that is great when you're carrying a baby, but after they're out, the gap can remain, causing what many like to call the frustrating little mommy pooch. So there are exercises you can do after having a baby, which I'll show you in this video, that will help to bring your muscles closer together again. And there are also exercises you should avoid. So postpartum wise, you should avoid crunches and sit-ups and planks, all those standard abdominal exercises that you think about, because those tend to push the gap wider. The exercises for diastasis recti actually target your transverse abdominis muscles, which you can see here, and it's a very deep layer of ab muscle that helps keep your core stable. So as you do these exercises, I want you to keep in mind that you're working that deep muscle layer. You're not necessarily working the superficial muscles or the six-pack. So first I'll show you how to do a self-check and see if you have DR. And just remember that it's a simple assessment and only your doctor is the one who can officially diagnose it, okay? But you can do it to yourself and see if maybe you have it. And then I'll show you 6 exercises that are recommended for DR and narrowing that gap. And most importantly, strengthening your core and your pelvic floor again. Okay, so let's do a self-check. So you're going to lie on your back, feet on the floor, your knees are up. You put one hand behind your head and you're going to do a crunch, a little crunch up. And don't curl your neck or put your chin down. Try and lift it and look up. So you'll take 2 to 3 of your fingers from your other hand and you'll find your belly button. And you'll feel above and below it. So if you can fit 2 or more fingers in the gap, you may have DR and can check with your OB. Think of that first picture I posted with the valley in the middle of your six-pack. So when you're feeling, you'll actually feel like one wall of the gap on the left side and the other wall on the right side. So you can actually put your fingers in that little valley. So it's kind of gross and freaky when you first feel it, but don't freak out. You're okay. You're totally fine. So sometimes you can fit 1 to 2 fingers in there, and other times you may fit 3, and in more severe cases it can be even up to 4 to 5. So generally 1 to 2 fingers you can carry on with your normal ab exercises, but if you feel like yours is more than 2 fingers, you may have DR and should check with your OB first, and these exercises I'll show you may be recommended. Okay, so let's get into those exercises. So the biggest thing I want you to do through every single one of these exercises is to stabilize your core, okay? This is important. When we tend to arch our backs a bit during exercises, we are not activating our core as much, and you won't be working those abdominal muscles you want to be working on. So do not arch your back or have a space between your lower back and the floor, which I'm showing here. So if you watch the video, it'll be a very subtle movement. You can probably barely see it, but you're going to think of contracting those deep muscles in your abdomen, bringing your belly button to your spine, and you're going to shift your hips so that your back ends up flat on the floor. So again, do not have an arch in your back. You're going to tilt your hips so that your lower back is flat on the floor and contract those abdominal muscles. Feel them working and hold this position through the exercises. So the first exercise is a little march, and you'll have your knees up starting with feet on the floor, and you'll just alternate your legs, bringing one leg up and down followed by the other side. And you do not need to bring your knee all the way back like down to your chest or anything. You can stop when it's making about a 90-degree angle right above your hips. Remember to stabilize your core, have that back flat, contract those abdominals, and make sure that your hips are not wiggling around. You want everything real still and stable. So the next exercise is a reverse march, so it's similar to the last one, except you start with your feet up in the air and a 90-degree angle at your knees, and you'll bring one leg down and up, then the other leg down and up. Again, try not to wiggle your hips or arch your back. Keep it slow and controlled. You may be able to touch your toes to the floor without your back arching or everything going haywire. But if not, if you can't reach the floor, it's okay. Go down as low as you can. A way to make the last move a little bit harder is to put your hands up by your head instead of stabilized down at your sides, and then you can try the reverse march in this way. Again, it's okay if your toes do not touch the ground. You just bring them down as low as you can while keeping everything in your core stable and not wiggling. The next exercise, you'll have your hands at your sides, your knees are up, and you'll bring your right leg down. So you're pretty much sliding your heel on the floor as you bring it out and back in. Be sure to flex your foot so your toes are pointed up, and remember to keep that core stable, no wiggling or rocking around. You can do 10 to 20 on one side and then do 10 to 20 on the other side. The next exercise is a leg lift, so start with your hands at your sides, one knee is up, the other leg is down on the floor, and you'll lift that leg up. And there's no need to snap it or kick it up quickly. This is a very controlled, slow motion from your abdominals contracting. And again, think of those deep ab muscles working as you slowly lift that leg up and slowly bring it back down. So you'll do 10 of these leg lifts on one side and then 10 on the other side. So for this last exercise, I want you to keep in mind that you may feel like your hips and your back want to rotate and rock you all the way to the side, but the goal is to keep everything still and stable so that only your leg is moving. So for this one, you start with your feet up, your knees are bent at a 90-degree angle, and your hands are at your sides. And you will take just your right knee and drop it down towards the right side. Your left knee stays where it is, your right knee is dropping. And as you do this, again, you may feel like your back and your hips are wanting to roll along with your leg and you end up on your side. But don't do that. You want to keep your hips where they are, your back flat, and only let your leg move. Don't let your core sway around or tilt to the side. So control that knee as it slowly falls to the right side and control it as you bring it back up, and then you repeat on the other side. So that's it for some exercises that help you with diastasis recti, and if you found this video helpful, be sure to share it with your mommy friends. Share your work in progress with me by posting your workout videos or pictures, or your sweaty post-workout picture on Instagram or Facebook, and remember to hashtag it WomanStrong6in60 to be featured. Be sure to subscribe to the Woman Strong channel and come back next week for more workout ideas and weekly challenges you can do. Thanks for watching, and remember, you have so much inner strength. Use it and strengthen others. See you later, guys.